What is up, everybody? Welcome in to another episode of the Wide Eye Sports Podcast. I have Riley, I have Spoon, it's your boy Bryn hosting as always, and we are back with another week. We are already a quarter of the way through the season, guys. We are on to week 5. How crazy is that?
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's
The
blowing
season's
by.
flying
It's
by.
going.
Yeah.
It's going
Yeah.
so quick.
Yeah, I'm blown away. Before we get started real quick, make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe, do all that good stuff. Helps us out. I know it's kind of like, it's YouTube thing, but like it really does help us, and we only get to do this if you do that. So pretty please, thank you. Let's jump right into things, boys. Week 4 was kind of crazy. I'm gonna start with MVPs. Is that cool with everybody? We talk about MVPs first. Okay,
Yep.
so I'll go first with my MVP. My MVP is Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. I mean, that dude called a pitch perfect game. Okay. I do think that the Detroit defense got a lot of help from the refs against Seattle. We're not going to talk about that. That's not the point. The point is that Jared Goff went 18 for 18 on the stat sheet. That only happens when your offensive coordinator is calling pitch perfect plays every single time. Okay. Not every play was perfect, but he called one hell of a game. He did amazing. He tore that Seattle defense apart with his game plan. Ben Johnson, literally, I mean, Jared Goff had to average 3 yards per throw, air yards per throw. Average depth of target is 3 yards for the whole game. And they scored what? How many points did they score? Like 42? 45? So
Yeah, mid-40s.
yeah, so I mean, when your quarterback only has to throw the ball 3 yards a play and you're putting up 40+ points a game,
Yeah, good job.
bravo.
Bravo.
Who's up next? Spoon, you want to go?
Man, I don't. There's a lot that stands out. My big one is the Baltimore Ravens defense.
Yeah.
Only giving up 10 points to Josh Allen led offense. That's
Josh
pretty
Allen's
big.
never beaten Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, never has. That's my big. Because I thought, man, I was so excited to watch this game. Thought it was going to be close, but the Buffalo Bills just could not get anything going against the Ravens defense the whole time. So big shout out to them. That's probably the big standout to me this week. Shout out Baker. Good shit. You beat the Eagles. Love you.
Yep.
Your
Spoon.
jersey is on the way right now.
Me and Spoon watched the Vikings-Packer game together, and he leans over and looks at me and goes, should I make Baker my MVP this week? And I looked at him and I go, Baker's your MVP every week, man. Like,
Every week.
So it's
They didn't
fun
have
that
the
you guys
game
say
on.
that.
Well, they didn't have the game on where we were at either, so we had to get Courtney to put the game on her phone. Just so
our
I could watch
buddy's
a little bit of it.
girlfriend. Yeah,
Yeah.
our buddy's girlfriend had
Just
to put
so
the
I
game
could
on
watch
her
a
phone.
little bit of the Baker, or just a little bit of the
So, Michaela,
Buccaneer game.
you got any more of that? You got any more of that Baker Mayfield?
Give me some Baker.
So I will give you all what you want. My MVP is Baker Mayfield.
Let's
Yeah!
go! Let's go!
Goes for 350 and 3 tuds. Bounce back after a rough game. And I'll be completely honest, I would not have chosen Tampa Bay to beat Philly to go into the week, let alone
had Philly
win
winning.
33-16. So
I picked Tampa Bay on a parlay this week. The parlay didn't hit, but Tampa Bay won. The parlay certainly didn't hit. Thank you very much, Denver and Indianapolis. Dicks. All right, biggest losers? We good?
Yep.
All right. Riley, you ready to argue?
Yeah, go for it.
Ready to argue? All right. So this is gonna sound really weird. My biggest loser of the week is Pittsburgh. And you're like, what are you talking? Why is that weird? They lost. They had a bad game, whatever. Yeah. That's not why they're my biggest loser. They're my biggest loser because Justin Fields had a decent game. Justin Fields had a decent game this week, and it's going to put him in a position to continue starting. And here's why that's a bad thing. Okay. Justin Fields has been a good starting quarterback this year. I'm not going to try to sit here and tell you he's not. But he hasn't fixed any of the issues he had. He has just played through their coaching really well. They have schemed up games phenomenally for him, and he has executed what he does well to perfection. And that won't get you deep into the playoffs. That will get you into the playoffs. That will not get you anywhere against good teams. Okay. They're running quick one read route. So, the guy's not open downfield, hit this guy who's going to be open no matter what on the check down, stuff like that, or scramble out. So, and I think we all agree his legs are his best attribute on the football field. So Russell Wilson's pass or rushing grade from last season via Pro Football Focus is 15 points higher than Justin Fields' current rushing grade. He averaged 2 yards more per scramble than Justin Fields is currently averaging. So by that standard,
that is one thing I have noticed about his scrambling is in Pittsburgh, it's a lot more designed runs, whereas a lot of his big plays in Chicago's came off drop back scrambles.
Yeah. And they
so
don't
I think
want
that's why his rushing numbers
Yeah,
are
for sure. For sure.
Past.
And I don't think Mike Tomlin wants him running around scrambling for them to win games because that doesn't play into what they do on offense very well. And what they do on offense, I think, lends very well to what Russell Wilson does. There's no debate here that Russell Wilson's the better pure passer, the pocket passer. Russ has got that. And he's shown that last year he can be more efficient with the way they like to run the offense, scrambling and moving around. As long as the calf thing doesn't have Russ really hindered, which that may be, and that's why Russ or Justin Fields may be the better option from here on out. We have yet to see that. But as of right now, I would still want Justin Fields out of the game and Russ running this offense because I think it has a higher ceiling with him. And I don't think that's going to happen, especially if, oddly enough, Fields plays well. That sounds really weird. Like, if he plays well, it's bad. Like, I think it's worse for them in the long run if Fields plays well. I think he could benefit a lot from sitting and watching and just kind of learning how to redeveloping routes and redeveloping defenses. I think that would really benefit him because I don't think it's too late for him to learn those things. He just hasn't had the right coaching to learn them, and I think it would benefit him to get to take a step back and take the weight of a city off his shoulder finally for the first time in 5 seasons. So, and that would be the plan, right? They would want him to be the quarterback of the future, and I think the best, quickest route to that is for him to take a step back, and I don't see that happening if he plays well within the scheme that they're creating for him, and you can't do that forever. So that's why he's my biggest loser. That's why the Pittsburgh Steelers are my biggest loser. I will turn the table over to Spoon.
This is tough. I mean, the obvious biggest loser for me is Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. It just looks rough. Rodgers is not really moving the ball very well. He's not making great passes.
Did you see what he said today?
What did he say today?
His knee is swollen and banged up. While you talk, I'll look up the exact quote, so continue.
Sure. Whatever you want to say. Whatever helps you get by losing to the Denver Broncos at home. But it's kind of looked rough this whole season for him. They haven't really got that offense going at all. And for them to lose to the Denver Broncos at home, that's a huge loss.
Yeah, I agree.
A loss that they definitely could not afford.
No. Yeah. So the exact quote here is, "I'm feeling a little banged up and took some shots. Knee is a little swollen," Rodgers said Tuesday on the Pat McAfee show. "Just kind of wear and tear week 4." That was the exact quote via Ian Rappaport on the Pat McAfee show. So he's, I'm not going to sit here and claim that his knee isn't banged up and swollen because he's 40 years old. That tends to happen when you get older. You can't take as many hits, can't take as much. And that's why Riley said earlier this week on the fantasy episode, Aaron Rodgers was his start of the week. If Brian Flores can fool him even a little bit, Brian Flores will send bodies flying at you out of a cannon if that's what it takes. He doesn't care how they get there. All he cares is that they ragdoll through the quarterback's body. So you got to be able to move. They'll have to get the ball out quick. I'm going to say this. If the Vikings can stop the run for the Jets offense, they stand no chance of winning because Brian Flores is just going to play light cover 3 on the back end and send 6 every time. And they're going to have to throw a 2-yard out route or get a sack. So
I do want to point out too, it kind of looks bad for Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
His backup comes in and does literally excellent. And they get,
comeback player of the year just came in and showed why he won comeback of the year last year. So Riley, who you got for your biggest loser?
So it was a tough choice for me because I was trying to decide, should I put this on the team? Should I put this on the player? So I have decided to do both. My biggest loser is Josh Allen. and the Buffalo Bills. I'm a
Fair
big
enough.
storylines guy, and this was the game that put all the storylines to bed. If Josh Allen goes out there and beats the Ravens, all the talk of the offseason, all of that stuff is put to bed. But he didn't. He went out there and had a bad game. Had 180 passing yards, 200 yards total. The forced fumble, I mean, that was just a bizarre play call in general, and it was blown up from the start. I really don't know what they were trying to do there.
Yeah.
But that leads me into the Buffalo Bills. They got beat in all three phases of the game.
Yeah, all
facets. Their
facets.
defense was just allowing scores. One thing that did annoy me, though, is that 80-yard Derrick Henry run. The announcers were just going on about how no one else in the league could do that run except for Derrick Henry. I don't think he got touched.
I mean, that's
he hit a hole and was gone.
Time out. That's every primetime game. The announcers always favor the home team and kind of jerk off the home team just a little bit. So that's all that is. That's anytime you're on primetime.
I was like, any running back worth their salt should take that to the house.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. But that's what happens. I mean, it happens all the time, and unfortunately, that's just how it kind of rolls.
Yeah, but for all those reasons, Josh Allen and the Bills were my biggest loser this week.
All right. Well, are you guys ready to get held accountable?
Yeah. Is it bad? Is it really bad?
It's the worst so far.
It was a bad week for undefeated.
Are you guys ready to see this? It's really bad. All right, so here we go. So every week throughout the offseason,
we went even. That's not that bad.
I mean, we were getting progressively worse every week. Every single week we're getting worse.
We started off hot.
So every week throughout the offseason, we went through and we picked the teams. The rules were everybody had to pick a team, and then ties went to the home team. Like that. Those were pretty much the only two rules. So, so far in the season, we are 39-25 after this week, 8-8 this week. We incorrectly predicted the Rams game, the Green Bay game, which even I gave to the Packers because it's Lambeau. Like the Packers get a lot of help at Lambeau. I'm not going to say from who, but they tend to get a lot of help at Lambeau. The Jets losing was huge. Philadelphia losing was huge. We all thought Arizona was not going to be. I thought Jane Daniels was going to be great. I did not expect him to be this great.
Nope.
The Chargers we all thought would play better, but obviously Herbert banged up. They're not healthy. So that was a little bit of an asterisk, but we don't do asterisks. We do numbers. We do raw stats. And then Miami, obviously we're going to take a hit on Miami just about every week without Tua.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Seattle, I mean, we all thought Seattle would win this game, and I will argue until I am blue in the face that they should have. The referees wiped away 3 Seattle touchdowns that should have been touchdowns at me. I will stand on that. Ben Johnson called a perfect offensive game. They took away 3 DK Metcalf touchdowns. He had a touchdown where he caught it in the end zone, knee down, and they didn't give it to him after a review, which is wild. They didn't give him a PI in the end zone, which he would have caught the ball if the defender wasn't tackling him. And then on a 4th down crucial call, once again, I can't be too mad at this one because they don't throw flags to decide the games unless the Chiefs are playing, but DK Metcalf had to try to go up over a defender to catch the ball, who ran into him and then turned around after he had already hit him. So those are 3 touchdown saving, no calls for the Lions. Great game either way. Wild, crazy game. Seattle certainly didn't help themselves. They tackled like shit all night. They gave up big play after big play after big play after big play. The Lions earned that win, and Ben Johnson called a damn near perfect game, and Jared Goff was perfect. So Lions earned that win, but I will still argue it should have turned out different.
I am curious. Who was the one person on the Bears-Rams game?
I would assume it was
probably you.
Just crazy thought, but
I would assume it's you. But I mean, we all expected them to have Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp. We expected that Rams team to look a little different. And I'll argue that if they had a healthy squad, it would look a little different. But hey, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, we hold ourselves accountable on this show, and right now we are 39-25. We are still up. We're up 14 games right now, so we're still up pretty much a whole week at this point. We're still up in games, so through 4 weeks, we're up a week. Let's go us. We're good. I said it last week. We're gonna get better. We're gonna come back to double-digit wins. I have faith. We can do it. Next week, as you can see down here at the bottom, we have 5 people in the next week. So there, we'll see what we do next week. But that is the hold ourselves accountable portion of the show. And next up, we now look forward to week 5. And so we did the off-season predictions where every week we'd pick a week of the schedule, yada 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 yada. And then during the season, we're doing the same thing with updated rosters. Obviously, we now know what the rosters look like week to week, blah blah blah. We pick the spreads, we take a look at the over-unders. So I'm going to pull that up right now, and we're going to pick each and every spread, and then we give you a ranking of 1 to 5 stars on how confident we are in that prediction. So I'm pull that back up on the screen. Oop, wrong one. There we go. All right, so we're going through DraftKings Sports again here. You got the names. Everybody see that okay? Ready to make it a little bigger?
Yes, please.
Yeah, zoom in just a tad. Yeah, that looks good.
This right here. All right. So we have Tampa Bay, right? Tampa Bay plus 1.5 or Atlanta minus 1.5 on Thursday Night Football in Atlanta. This is a huge game for their division. I don't remember. I can pull it up real quick. Where the division standings, I think Tampa Bay's 3-1 and Atlanta's 2-2. So Atlanta gets a game back in the division, could jump to first place in the division with a win in this game. Obviously, Tampa Bay extends their lead if they win this game. I think they're going to be motivated. I'm taking Tampa Bay plus half or 1.5. Sorry, can't speak. Jesus.
Riley, I want you to go second.
Yeah, we'll go in order. Riley,
just
Spoon,
go in order.
Me.
I don't know. I like Atlanta. Atlanta and a 3-star.
So I'm giving mine a 2-star just because I feel like I told this to the show last week, Riley, you weren't here, but I feel like I got kind of liberal with my stars in the first couple weeks, and I want to kind of reel that back. I'm going to save 1 star and 5 stars for like truly great matchups. So I'm going to go 2-star.
Okay.
So first of all, I will be betting on this game. And second of all, I will be taking Tampa Bay plus 1.5 as a 4-star. And that is because Atlanta is 1-2 at home this year. I think that's right. Are they 1-2 at home? Yeah, they're 1-2 at home. The Bucks are 1-0 on the road. Give me the team that plays better on the road, and the team that is going against a team that does not play good at home.
All right. Well, we'll move on to Jets Vikings. I almost said Jets at Vikings. It is a home game for the Vikes technically, but they're playing in London. I don't know. Shoot. I don't think either team is. I don't think either team has left for London yet. I think they each go either tomorrow or Thursday. I'm taking Minnesota minus 2.5. The Vikings have had a couple of streaks this season. We haven't lost to San Francisco at home since 1992. We have never lost to the Houston Texans, and we have never lost off the North American continent in a professional football game. I'm taking the Minnesota Vikings minus 2.5. 3-star.
Ooh, give me the Jets in a 2-star. I did have Aaron as my must start this week, so I got to back that a little bit.
Spoon?
So if Aaron Rodgers is as banged up as they say he is, I'm taking the Vikings minus 2.5, and I'm putting the house on it at a 5-star.
Ooh.
I mean, I love that. I am so nervous for you already.
This Jets team looks.
Say goodbye to the house.
No, I wouldn't say that. I will say this. Time out on the spreads for a minute. Me and Spoon watched the game together. We happened to get to be together for a buddy's wedding over the weekend in Missouri, and we watched the game together. And for those of you who watched the Viking-Packer game, we were up 28-0, and there was a muff punt right before the end of half where they get to score, and they go 28-7, And then they came out of halftime, and I am sitting there just like trying to watch the game, and Spoon's like, "You're up 28-7. Why are you nervous?" And I'm like, "I've seen this game before. I know what happens next, okay? This is going to be a 32-27 ball game, and I'm going to sit here nervously the entire time." And it was pretty close to that. It's pretty close. I was a wreck that entire game. I'm a wreck every game though, so there's nothing new for me. But like I said, Minnesota Vikings -2.5, 3-star. Spoon, where are you going? You said 5-star?
I said same thing, 5-star.
All right. Let's move on to the Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to hammer the Ravens. -3, 5 stars. I love this. They're rolling. They're hot. I like it.
Man. With it being a division game, that makes it tough. Because, I mean, all it takes is for Joe Burrow to snap into it. They could win this game. But give me Baltimore in a 2-star.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I hate this game.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all. You're giving the road team the points here in a division matchup. I don't like it. I would probably, if I had to lean, it would be Baltimore. But I'm telling you right now, I could flip-flop to either one of these spreads, and I'm just going to 1-star this. I don't love either one.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Don't hate you for it. All right, Cleveland at Washington. Ooh. Cleveland's +3.5 here. Washington's -3.5 here. I don't think the Browns offense can keep up with what the Commanders are doing right now offensively. That Browns defense is not as good as we thought it would be. I'm going to take 2-star -3.5 Commanders.
Yeah, I'm going to go Commanders in a 3-star. With all the reasons you said, I don't know that Cleveland can keep up with Washington, and their defense has not been what it was last year.
And I should mention this. If this spread were to drop to say -2.5 Commanders, I'm a 5-starring that. I think they win this game by exactly 3 points. So it could, or I could see them winning exactly 3 points. I flip flop on the point right there. So, but Spoon.
So yeah, I'm probably going to lean Commanders as well. Don't really like the -3.5. I'll probably 2-star that, but I am going to 4-star the over. I love the over at 44.5 here. I think it's kind of low. I think it could easily be up to 50, 52 points.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna be hitting that over.
Okay. All right. Well, Buffalo at Houston. This is, I mean, can somebody explain this? How Houston is the underdog by a point at home?
Houston's looked a little rough this year.
Yeah.
That's why. Like they don't.
5-star.
It depends on what you think of the teams they have played.
Houston Texans +1, 5 stars. I'm swimming in money.
It's okay. That's fair.
I got to back my guy. I'll go Buffalo in the 3-star.
No, I'm taking Houston here. Houston is much better at home, and they have played on the road. The Bills just played an atrocious game on the road. Yeah, I'm probably going to lean Houston here, +1.5, and I'm only going to 2-star that because this is a flip flop. It can go either way.
Yeah, Houston +1. All right, Carolina at Chicago. I'm taking Chicago -3.5, 1-star.
I'm taking Chicago in a 4-star. You said it was at Chicago, right?
Yep, at Chicago -3.5.
The Bears currently have the longest active winning streak at home in the NFL after that win against the Rams. So they've been on a roll when playing at home.
Spoon?
I would wait just a second. I think I'm leaning Carolina +4. I see this coming down to the wire. I see it being
it's
a field goal
+3.5 on here.
Well, yeah. I see it at +4, +3.5. Either way, similar thing to what I'm going to say. I see the Bears winning. I see them, if they do win, I see them only winning by a field goal. I'm going to lean Carolina +4, and I'll probably 3-star that.
Okay.
I really like that.
All right. Indy at Jacksonville, a battle of bad teams here in the AFC South. Ugh, 2.5 point spread in this game. I am going to 1 star. I'm going to 0 star Jacksonville on the act. Yeah, I'm a 0 star Jacksonville on this game.
Is this line with Anthony Richardson or?
Yeah, he's expected.
I don't care
he's
which
expected
one.
to play. He's expected to play.
Even if Joe Flacco's there, I still like the line for the Colts here.
0 star Jacksonville for me. Riley?
I'm going to go 2 star Indy.
Spoon?
So, you have the spread on there. I have the spread on, I look at Barstool. They have it at -3. Either way, I'm taking the Colts. I'm not trusting Jacksonville to be winning this game at all. They have not looked good. They have not impressed me at all this year. And I'm going to lean towards the Colts, and I'm going to 3-star that.
Okay. Miami at New England. New England minus a point. That's a 4-star for me. I'm taking New England.
I don't know. I could see this going either way.
Not if they play like they played against the Titans.
Man, I'll go Miami in a 1 star.
Okay. Spoon?
I'm gonna take the Patriots in a 3-star -1. I am gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give everybody a little hint at home if you like betting and you like to win. There was in games that Miami play, I've noticed that obviously they're low-scoring games. They kick a lot of field goals. Did I absolutely parlay a field goal kicker last week? Yes, I did, and it hit. It was the Miami Dolphins kicker to make. The line's always 1.5, and I hit the over. I was like, yep, they're not going to be able to score touchdowns. They might get a few field goals, and that's exactly what hit. Just keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I like it. Arizona at San Francisco, boys. I like Arizona plus 7.5 a lot here. I'm going to 4-star that. This offense has been hot. They play well. They did lose to Washington. I don't think they win this game, but it's a divisional game, and I think they can put up points. Yeah, I'm taking Arizona. I'm gonna move it to a 3-star. 3-star point. Arizona plus 7.5. Riley?
I'm gonna do Arizona in a 2-star. That's kind of a big spread for me, and San Francisco's been playing all their division opponents close.
Mm-hmm. Spoon?
Yeah, I'm going to lean towards Arizona here as well. I'm only going to 2-star it, though, just because the Niners were able to cover a 10.5-point spread last week with ease.
Yeah.
And Arizona looked a little.
I will say Arizona's offense is 5 times what New England's is.
Yeah. No, it is for sure. It didn't look great last week against Washington, who I have seen hasn't really
has
played
a terrible
well.
defense.
Hasn't had a great defense this year. I'm still gonna lean Arizona though, and I'm only gonna 2-star it.
I don't hate you for it. All right, the Las Vegas Raiders are playing at Denver, and I'm taking Las Vegas plus 2.5 points. I think it's absolutely criminal that the Broncos are getting 2.5 points, regardless of being at home. They have won a couple games, but there's some tape on their offense now. I'm taking the Raiders at a 3-star plus 2.5.
I'm going to take Denver in a 2-star. I don't know if the Raiders are the team that are going to figure out what the Broncos are doing.
I like their defense. Spoon?
Yeah, I'm going to lean towards the Raiders plus. You said you have it at 2.5. If you can get it up to, if it shoots up to 3, I would definitely hammer that.
Yeah.
I'm only going to 2-star that. I'm just not. It's a division game. It's going to be close, and I know Denver's at home. They are coming off a win. They're both coming off of pretty good wins.
The Raiders.
Yeah, I'm going to lean Raiders.
All right, I'm going to break my keyboard from hammering -6 Hawks so hard. So give me 5-star -6 Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, I'll go Seahawks 4-star.
Yeah, I love that. They're going to be at home, obviously, coming off of a kind of a tough loss. Giants just have not looked good this year at all. Seahawks yeah, I'm going to 4-star that.
Yeah, I like it.
We
agree. So naturally, the Giants will win.
The Giants will win.
At Rams. This is This is going to be. I first of all, I would like to say take the over, and then I'll take the Packers -3 in LA. I do think the Packers will be up 24-14 in the third quarter, probably 14, 15, 16 fourth quarter points between both teams. The Packers are very susceptible to the run game. I almost said Kenneth Walker. Williams will have a good game on the ground, but I do like Green Bay. I'm going to 2-star that.
I am going to take the Rams in a 2-star. Watching them against the Bears, I think they'll be able to move the ball on the Packers. It's just a matter of if they can get a couple stops on defense.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll take the Rams.
Spoon?
I do like your bet with the over. I think that's a really good pick. But I'm gonna lean towards the Packers -3, and I'm probably gonna 4-star that.
Okay.
I like the Packers a lot this week.
All right. Dallas Cowboys at Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers -2.5, 4 stars.
Ooh.
It's a field goal game to me. I like Pittsburgh in the game, so.
Man, and what's hard, in my mind, it shouldn't be a 30-point game.
Yeah, Dallas should win this game by 50 on fucking paper if they're healthy and playing well, but they're not healthy and they're not playing well, so Pittsburgh gets the win at home.
Yep.
By 3 points.
Yeah,
Sorry,
give me Pittsburgh in a 2-star.
No, I'm definitely taking Pittsburgh here, and I'm going to 4-star that. Cowboys, coming from a huge Cowboys fan, we've looked like ass. Our players are now hurt, so now we're going to have even more ass on the field.
So naturally, the Cowboys will win this game for some reason. Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb will combine for like 300 yards. Just Zeke will have like 150-yard 3-touchdown game. It'll be crazy. We don't know why, but it'll happen. Next up, we have the Monday Night Football game next week. We have New Orleans at the Kansas City Chiefs, and I like the under in this game. I really do. I like a 17-20 ball game, and I like the New Orleans Saints +5. I'm gonna 3-star that.
I'm gonna take the Chiefs in a 3-star. I could see it being a 10-point game.
Well, once again, remember this. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. This is the Chiefs in prime time. They're not going to let them lose. They're not going to let them lose, but they will make it close because they want everybody watching. So, New Orleans +5, I think 3-point game, and then they get into field. I can totally see I can see it right now. Saints, Derek Carr's driving. He throws to Chris Olave over the middle at the 45. He throws it down to the 25. Chris Olave makes a catch with, 25 seconds on the clock. Flag, roughing the passer, hit to the head of Patrick Mahomes, and it's actually a defensive lineman like bench pressing an offensive lineman, and the offensive lineman's hand hits Pat in the head, and they call it on the Saints anyways, and it's a huge thing, and we all complain about it, and the Chiefs win by 3.
So the 5-point spread is just so weird. It's so weird. I don't know which way to go, but I'm just going to lean towards the Saints here, and I'm only going to 2-star that.
I treat 5-point spreads the same way I treat 3.5-point spreads. Anything between 3.5 points and 6 points, that's the same thing to me.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah.
Such a weird spread because it's going to be really tough for it to end in a 5-point game. Like it's either going to be like a 4 or a 6. Like it's not going to.
It's a rare push. It's a rare push.
Yeah.
But all right, that is the Week 5 slate of games. We will get that off the screen. Get us back up in here, up and personal with y'all. Stop the screen share real quick. So that is us picking the spreads for the week. Take another moment here. Just say like, subscribe, please, and thank you if you're watching the video. We really appreciate it. It's really awesome of you. We really enjoy getting to do this, and you guys make that possible. Last but certainly not least, we got some news and notes to go over from this week. As of today, it is Tuesday, October 1st. I almost said October 10th. Tuesday, October 1st, Devante Adams has officially requested a trade from the Las Vegas Raiders. As of right now, they tend to honor that request, but there's no official word on like where he's going. A few teams that jumped out to me looking at draft capital and cap space and all those things. Baltimore, the Jets for obvious reasons, Atlanta, and oddly enough, the Green Bay Packers. I think Devante would be stoked to go back there and play in Green Bay again and get the chance to play there. Atlanta could certainly be a serious. They're already all in mode, right? They've given Kirk all the money. They went and got Matthew Judon. They have some draft capital still. So them sending the house for a true number one receiver wouldn't be crazy. The Jets, there was speculation about this in the offseason. Aaron Rodgers wants him in New York. I mean, we know about the connection there. And then Baltimore giving Lamar Jackson a true number one receiver for the first time in his career would be absolutely huge for that team and making that Super Bowl push, because they're on the back end of their Super Bowl window and it's closing quick. So they need to make an all-in move as well. And I think this could be one of those things that's huge for them. So what do you guys have to say about that? What do you guys think?
I don't know. I kind of like Devante to Denver.
Devante to Denver?
Yeah.
An in division? You think they would make an in division trade?
If any organization's going to do it, it's going to be the Raiders.
That's fair. I mean, to be fair, the Lions did it. The Lions did it with the. I mean, we got T.J. Hawkinson from the Lions.
Yeah.
It's not unheard of. It's just not very often.
I think it gives Bo Nix a bona fide number one. I don't think it looks good as far as Devante winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't think he'd want to go to Denver, and I'm not sure if he has a no trade clause and he can okay where he goes. So I'm not sure about all that yet.
I didn't even think about that.
But I would imagine he does, and he will get to okay where he goes. So I would be very shocked if it's a Denver-like team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I just popped in my head. The Rams. Rams need wide receiver help. Rams have a good quarterback.
I think they've got him. They're just hurt.
Yeah, I know, but they don't have him right now. Les Snead's known for fuck them picks, bro.
You're right. You are right about that one.
So, like, if there's a team where I think of, like, they would just send the house for somebody completely unnecessarily, I mean, the Rams.
Yeah.
Spoon, any thoughts?
I don't know. We're always going to say a team that we think he goes to. I think the best fit for him would be just to go back to Green Bay.
Yeah, that would make the Packers
be the true storyline.
That would be the true storyline. It would be
insane offense in Green Bay if you could have Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed. They have tons of like B-level talent at the wide receiver position there, and a bunch of B-level talents make a really good wide receiving core, and he can go anywhere with it at any time, right? And so somebody's usually getting open somehow. Combined with Matt LaFleur, who I think for a 3 or 4 year stretch was the best offensive play caller in the NFL.
I think it would be fun though to see him play in Washington with Jaden Daniels. I think that would be a top.
That would be dope.
That'd be where I would like him to go overall, just because that would give Jaden Daniels a great offensive weapon, and it would just really solidify himself.
I just really think Devante Adams has to go to a contender and a team that's ready to make a final push.
He's gonna want to go there. As old as he is, he's gonna want to go somewhere where he can compete.
What about Jacksonville?
That's the same Denver boat. But that's a Denver boat to me. I think Doug Peterson's on his way out. I don't think they have. I think right now they might have one of the top 3 worst case scenarios in all of football, right behind the Giants. So I don't think he'd go there. Houston would be great, but they already have 3 stud receivers.
Yeah, they don't. Really
Chicago would be great, but they already have 3 receivers.
Like another great fit for him would be the Saints, but they can't afford him because
they can't afford him.
Awful
they don't have any draft capital.
Or I guess they're probably in the same boat. What about Dallas?
Can't afford him.
Yeah, you can't afford
him. Even if it was for a year.
But I don't think you'd want to go anywhere for just a year. I don't think you want to go to Dallas for just a year because, I mean, the way they've looked, I mean, no offense, Spoon, but it's not looking like Super Bowl bound anytime soon.
Nope.
So
I still think they're the favorite in that division. I think Devante Adams.
Are they? The way Washington's offense is clicking?
Washington looks like the favorite.
Yeah, Washington looks like the favorite. I mean, their defense is bad, but if their offense plays like this all season, I don't know. Like, who's I don't see why they don't win the division. I'm sure on betting lines, Dallas is still the favorite, but Washington is playing really well right now. I'd have to take a look at schedules, to be honest. But my personal favorite is Baltimore. I think Baltimore or New York, those are the first two teams to pop into my head. The Jets, I think they have a bye week 6. So get him in there sometime in the next 10 days and then give him a full bye week to get integrated into the offense and start kicking off things with Aaron Rodgers after this week in London.
So do you guys think Devante has played his last snaps with the Raiders, or do you think he's going to gear up until he's traded?
I think he's played his last snap for the Raiders. I expect sometime between now and Friday that we will get a notification on our phone that Devante Adams has been traded to X, Y, or Z. So
okay.
In other news, unless anybody has anything else they want to add to that. Okay. Other news: Von Miller suspended 4 games for breaking the personal conduct policy of the NFL. There's no word on what he officially did yet to break that policy, but we will let you know when we find out. And then the Dolphins are still going to start Tyler Huntley, so they don't have another plan there. They're not going to revert. They're going to leave in the guy.
They're not bringing Tom Brady in?
Nope. Speaking of, did you see the Tom Brady cue cards that got leaked when he was showing his cue cards? So, according to Tom Brady's own handwriting, the Bears, when he went to Tampa Bay, the Bears offered him a 1-year, $10 million deal to play in Chicago instead of Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay offered like $35 million. So,
dude, this is old news. This was
I didn't hear
reported on by Bears reporters back in 2020 or whenever. It was known that the Bears were talking to Tom, trying to get him in. But everything that came of that was that Tom didn't want to go somewhere cold with you.
Yeah, that's fair. I wouldn't either if I was him, or go to Chicago.
No, I saw like all the media or whatever being like, "Oh, Tom Brady almost went to Chicago." It's like half of Bears reporters were talking about
it at the time. Okay. Well, last little tidbit I have here is Jason Peters, 42 years old, signs with the Seattle Seahawks today. Haven't heard exact contract details yet, but 42-year-old left tackle Jason Peters is headed to Seattle. And that's wild to me that we have 2 40-year-old dudes playing in the NFL, and Aaron Rodgers and Jason Peters. I couldn't play in the NFL, and I'm 28 years old.
Isn't who's the Bears tight end? Mercedes Lewis?
I thought he was 38.
Oh, maybe he is. He just set like the most games started by a tight end to ever.
Let's find out. It's loading. He is 40 years old. He is exactly 4. We have 3 40-year-old dudes playing in the NFL right now. That's wild. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for this week. Does anybody else have anything they want to say before we get off here?
No, are we going over our MVPs and biggest losers for the first quarter of the season?
We are doing a separate video for that.
Okay, cool.
We'll be doing a separate video that'll air later this week for the quarter season recap that'll premiere after Thursday Night Football's already been out. So we'll be technically more than a quarter way through the season, but we're going to do it while ignoring Thursday Night Football. So, yeah, so we're going to do that. But other than that, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for joining, and hopefully you stuck around to the end of the video. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you all next time. Peace.